Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. The rebirthing of 5 topics of life. We're back for 2019. We've had tragedy, we've had fun, we've had laughter. It's just about life. And 5 topics of life. We're going to come back to you this year, once a week, every week. We're going to go through all those little things that make up everyday life. Whether it's etiquette around traffic waivers. We've done that before. People who are line talkers. They're one of my classics. Tomato sauce in the fridge. I'm converted. I was never. Not even since I was a little boy did I ever put tomato sauce in the fridge. But I'm there now. I'm there. I'm putting tomato sauce in the fridge. And what about those? So many topics. And if you've missed us, it doesn't matter because you've probably heard a few of our topics, whether it be on Triple M, 2UE, 2GB, 2SM. A lot of stations, they look for funny things when they're struggling. They just go back to the old podcast of 5 topics of life. Would you please welcome a man who's got 3 daughters of his own. I've got 2 girls, 5 girls. So we come from a worldly experiences of life. The great man, Mr. Sparty Talkback. Welcome, Sparty.
Hey, Richie, how are you? I am so excited to be back, and I can only reiterate what you've just said. We are the well that Sydney radio dips into. If they're struggling, they get a big bucket and they go down deep, they get some water out and they pour it out, and then they go with it on air. And it's so exciting to be back. Feel a little bit like Mark Twain after that introduction. You know, there's been excitement, there's been sadness, there's been happiness, but it's been one of those years that you look back on and you go, well, it happened, and we're bigger and better for it.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder, and it's been well known that I've had my own battles, professionally, but more that pales in insignificance of losing a brother. And I'll be honest, straight off the top of our 2009 starting podcast, that I've really struggled with life. I never thought I'd be a person that had to seek help, but I really struggled losing Matt, and it's easy to say it's been 15 months now and I still struggle every single day trying to come to grips with it, but that's life, and what we've got to do is try and make a difference. But Sparty, have you been warmed?
Yes, mate.
With the support, and like particularly when you joined Twitter before meeting me, and you had those 23, 24 followers,
12.
and now you're up over blazing it. What are you blazing at now?
Oh, look, I'm not one to check, but I think it's about 1,478 as we speak. There's been a few issues. A few people have dropped off recently, but their cards have been marked. They won't be back. But
you've got to hold a grudge.
Oh yeah, no. Well, if there's one thing I've learned off you, it's how to hold a grudge.
Well, that's a topic for another day.
Well, we will go.
I'll let you, Pete. I'll throw one out there right now. Then I want people to follow it next time, so we might deal with it. But I can hold a grudge against, and I'm well known for it, against restaurants,
particularly food.
Food restaurants. We had my biggest one I'll get to another day. But we had a local restaurant, a little local public school, celebrating the 125th, and we used to eat there twice a week. A little Thai restaurant. That's them. And my wife and 3 other mothers went up and down the street there in our local area. Every shop donated. All they did was ask for a $20 voucher. There's a local chicken shop that I love, the boys.
They're good, those guys.
The Lebanese boys.
Like
and they donated $500, $20, $25 vouchers.
That's right.
This one shop that I ate at, my family ate at twice a week, wouldn't donate $20.
And they are officially on the list.
Well, it's now been 7 years or 8 years since I've stepped foot in that restaurant. And do you think they would have made the $20?
No, and they're only seen these days at a pop-up at local fetes due to that. And you're right, you can hold a grudge. You've taught me a lot of things, but geez.
All right, let's get stuck in, Sparty. No mucking around. First topic I want to discuss with you this time is, and this comes from Cricket Flog on Twitter, on social media.
Yep.
When walking onto a plane through the aisle or similar, and you're going into your seat, do you put your front to the person who's there as you go into your seat, or do you put your ass?
Well, look, I'm an ass man from way back.
Kramer.
I am.
Proctology.
It's not even. I wasn't even going to put this in. I thought everybody, you just went with your ass to their face, so to speak, and you shuffle. I think people would prefer. Would they prefer an ass to a groin? I don't know, but I've always been an ass facer. I'll leave it at that. What about you?
Well, I'll tell you a funny story. I flew to. I was doing a function in Melbourne only a couple of weeks ago, and I was walking. I was the last person on the plane. I'd been moved up a flight, and I was walking. I only had
did you?
I only had hand luggage, and I was walking on, and I was walking towards the back of the plane. There was 2 ladies sitting in 21A and 21C, and I saw them both look at me at the same time, thinking, "Oh no." No, not the big fella in between them. And at the same time, they both looked over their shoulder. They looked back and they said, "Oh, there's 4 seats still spare at the back." So I could see they were like pale, the fear of God in them. and I almost stopped right there, and then I continued on, and you saw the life come back, the colour come back into their face.
Yeah.
I went and spoke to the hostess at the back of the plane. Then I went back, tapped the lady on the shoulder in C and said, "Excuse me, I'm in B." Well, they were absolutely filthy.
Why?
The lady in C got up, and I sat in B, and they're both looking at the spare seats. You can hear them mumbling under their breath, "Oh, the spare seats." Well, I only took the seat that I was allocated, so everyone found it humorous on the plane. We start the taxi, and we're just about to just put the jets into motion, and the hair hostess come down, tapped me on the shoulder with a bit of humour and said, "Mr. Callender, you can go back to your seat now." I was in 23F. You should have seen
So 2 new friends?
Oh, listen, no. Lady in C who had to get up and move again. Filthy.
Yeah, right, to get you
Lady in A was laughing. But filthy C, everyone else on the plane found it very humorous.
Yes, yeah. So, and there it is. Why can't you just
And the
embrace the
hostess
life?
found it
Yeah,
hilarious.
she would have as well.
Yeah.
A lady hostess?
Yeah, it was a lady hostess.
Okay. Yeah. And
Remember the old days when, I'm not being disrespectful, remember the old days when Qantas used to have the track? No, we won't even go there.
okay, so to move on from cricket flog, I'm definitely asked to face you.
Well, no, I'll ask you one question. Are you an aisle seater or a window seater?
Well, unlike you, I very rarely get on a plane. But if I have the choice, and in fact I'm going to Melbourne later this week, definitely an aisle seater.
You know what? I was an aisle seater, and I'll be honest, for 42 years.
Yeah.
And I'm just fed up. People on 1 hour flights that need to go to the bathroom.
Oh,
So now I am just a window seater.
so then you won't be disturbed.
I'm
You
a
just
window
get in.
seater.
What if you need to?
I don't go the only time I go to the bathroom is, let's just say there's been
there's an incident. But
there's been an awful night.
if
If
you're
just a little bit under the weather.
If you're getting up from your said window seat, you're ass facing.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
cuddle
right.
across the seat in
Oh,
front.
you can't do that. That's unacceptable. Anyway, so there you go, everyone. We welcome feedback on that as well.
You know what? Listen, I want to talk to you about the Australian cricket team. You're a lover of
I
cricket.
love it. Test cricket particularly. Yep.
We've had the big change now.
Yep.
Apparently the new culture.
Yep.
Which is not winning.
Good bloke.
Although we're big noting about beating Sri
As
Lanka.
long as you're a good bloke.
Just Justin Langer's in the selection. Who's on the selection panel? Justin Langer, Greg Chappell, and Trevor Holmes.
Yes.
It just seemed to be that you've got to be. It seemed to be like a nice, cute,
well, what it is,
good-looking. Nice fella without any mongrel in you, rather than be the player.
Yeah.
Look, I've never been the biggest Glenn Maxwell fan, but how he's not in the side, I can't work out.
No, well, you know that I've got a poster of him on the back of the bedroom door, which causes a few dramas with Mrs. Sparty. But what it appears to be is if you're a good bloke, right? If you're a dead set good bloke, and you enjoy topiary and feng shui, you will be picked. You will be picked. And if you're from Western Australia and you're 5 letters in your surname, of which MARSH. Now, they've obviously been moved on, which is a shame because, in my view, Sean Marsh is a very good player, but he just can't do it at test level for whatever reason. Tell
me about this, you're a cricket man, why didn't Aaron Finch, before they gave him the chop, and he was going to get chopped, why didn't they try and bat him down the order where he batted for Victoria?
Because I think it's acknowledging a mistake that was previously made.
And they can't do that?
They can't. Well,
Fonzie.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's my only take on it because the bloke bats there in shield level, averages 40-something, but they open with him. As much as Matthew Wade, I think we discussed.
How come Matthew... Look, I've never been the biggest Matthew Wade fan.
No.
But he's the best bat in Australian cricket at the moment.
No, and you've touched on exactly what we've debated many, many times. Just because you're a really good sportsman doesn't necessarily mean you've got to be a good bloke.
No.
And I don't...
My pet hater, my eldest brother Dave's a school teacher. Yeah. He always says, I say to my kids, admire them for their sporting ability.
Yes.
And I get sick and tired of everyone saying these sports people are role models. No, they're not.
No,
they're sports people.
They are.
I'll tell you who's a role model, and they ain't. A role model can be Ben Robert Smith. That's a role model for me. Yeah. That's a role model for me.
You know? Yeah, no, you're right. And there have been good sportsmen who are role models. That's
Dr. Michael Bryden, who looks after Children's Hospital, who does that extra yard, goes to orphanages over.
Correct.
He's a role model to me.
Indeed.
Like a Brendan Favola. He's not a role. Shane Warne. He's definitely $5 billion down the line of being a role model.
But the best leg spin bowler of the world.
The greatest leg spin bowler I've seen, but it doesn't make him a good bloke or a role model.
I agree, and that's one of the biggest things that people struggle with.
If my daughter turned up with Shane Warne's half-brother or twin brother as such in...
Has he got a twin?
No, but I'm saying I'd usher him in the car with a shotgun. Out. On your way, son.
Yeah, no. So getting back to what you asked me, I think that the reason Wade's averaging 60 in Shield, they won't pick him because apparently his card's been marked. So... But
hang on, let me tell you something else. Everyone wants to tell you about Sean and Mitch Marsh having photos. Well, I tell you, they're only getting them out of the Albon that Mick Stark's got.
Yeah,
How's he in the side?
Well, I'll tell you what it is, mate.
What about this? I'm getting fired. This is not a show.
Yeah.
This is 5 topics of life.
It's Monday afternoon. We're supposed to be calm. All right, it's a public holiday. Anyway, what were you talking about, Stark? He's a very good bowler out of form, and no one wants to admit it. And that's the problem. You know, like he took none for 50.
One bloke did laugh on Twitter when he said to me, "Oh, Richard, in this day and age, you can't drop people. It's not acceptable to people can't deal with it mentally if you drop them."
So I know how that feels because you know how you only ever ask me around here normally to fix things.
Yes.
And I sometimes just want to come around to say
my wife
hello.
often says, we've got enough food for Spuddy. I say, why? She said, there's a couple of cupboards need fixing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Your toolkit's another story for another day. Right,
Kid Cowboy wrote
Kid Cowboy,
this.
funny
And I
bloke.
find him quite humorous on social
He's a
media.
lunatic. I'll say that.
He said, what about shopping trolley levers in car parks?
Yeah. And what he means by that is, so there's two schools of thought on this.
You can go to any trolley bay. You mean just leaving them anywhere?
Yeah, so what they do, you've done the groceries, you've unloaded them, and you just leave it next to your car. Now, there's two schools of thought, and you can take this into Macca's, because people say, well, if I don't leave the trolley there, Jeffrey
won't have a job.
Jeffrey won't have a job. Well, that's not right, because Jeffrey will still have a job because he's got to collect the trolleys.
He just
anyway.
won't have to do as much.
He won't have to do as much. Jeffrey's going to be happy, right? They think they're helping Jeffrey. They're not.
But Jeffrey's not.
No, it's the same as when people leave their stuff on the table at Macca's.
No, I'm a cleaner.
I have no doubt.
Yeah, and you know what we are when we go to a restaurant? We're plate stackers.
Oh, I'm a stack. Yeah,
we're plate stacker.
Yeah. And I've seen you. You not only stack, you then hand.
Yes.
You're a stack hander.
Or if we're at a place where yesterday, up the
I must have been busy, was I?
the Corinda Waters golf course.
Oh, wow, that sounds flash.
I packed the plates.
Yeah.
And delivered them to the lady.
So you packed, stood, delivered?
Did the lot.
Yeah. See.
I thought it looked untidy.
Did anyone get sacked?
What?
No one got sacked, did they?
No, because they wouldn't. No one got it sacked. This is. I hope they're not listening, but the service was horrendous.
On the list or not?
And you know what? I shouldn't even bring this up, but
you will.
It was 7 of us. 8. How many was? How many in my family? 4. There was 3. 7 of us.
Yeah.
My wife and 2 daughters ordered this blat. Well, they ordered it, and it's Turkish bread, this and all that. Well,
I remember we did. This
they didn't
before.
mention anything.
Yeah.
And they bought their lunches out on the biggest, fattest bread roll dough.
Yeah.
And then I said, "Oh yeah, we ran out of. We haven't had Turkish bread for a couple of weeks."
Oh, they've done the substitute.
I said, "What about the menu? Why don't you just change the menu when people order? Tell them that it's not different.
Yeah.
It's like me ordering. So I'll have a steak with Diane sauce, and you bring out a chicken parmesan. Oh, you haven't had steak for a month,
or a T-bone, and you don't get the really nice fillet on the side.
Yeah, well, we can't go there.
We won't go there.
Are you a shopping troller?
Yeah, of course I put them back. Yeah,
I will admit, I reckon I have 8,264 times been a trolley put a backer up.
Have you ever left her?
Yeah, the other day.
Where at?
Yeah, we were at Strathfield, I'll be honest. I was there with my youngest daughter. Yeah, it was flat shut. I've never seen ruder people in the Woolworths there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. Lady opened a new lane, and they come from feeding a 13
What
deep
about
on
that?
the other line.
What about
they
the new
come
lane?
from 13 deep on the other line.
We're going to cover that.
I almost knocked. I said, oi, we were number 2 over there.
Yeah.
I said, we're coming here.
Mate, if you're ranked 2 in aisle 7 and they open aisle 6, you're suddenly ranked 1.
You're 1.
You don't get dropped down to 14 trying to qualify.
Mate, they come from 13 to 14 deep in aisles 9, 10, 11.
We're going to deal with that.
I knocked them over, and we walked out and we were across the road, and it was a 2 signs together, and the trolley kind of jammed in there nicely.
Oh, so you just so it was an on-street leave.
On-street leave.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's all right. That's the council. They go,
on-street leave.
They're bastards.
Yeah, it wasn't even shopping centre.
Yeah.
On-street leave.
That's a whole other world. Anyway, and they've been compared by someone else whose name I've forgotten, whoever it is, I'm sorry, on Twitter. They compared shopping trolley levers to blokes that when you're playing golf, in the buggy when we played recently, which, geez, you're very tough on that as well. This had never happened to you. What about the blokes that when you've, or the ladies that when you're on the green, you've got the buggy, but they're on the wrong side, so when you get ready to go to the next tee, you've got to sort of circumnavigate.
Yeah, but what about the people that park 40 metres away from the green and walk up? Like,
right. Yeah.
I didn't hire a buggy to walk. Like,
who does that?
Not often my own.
I hope I didn't.
A lot of people.
Did I do that?
Well, I park on the tees.
Oh, no, you do.
I remember one day, and I don't know if I agree with my old man Kenny, but Kenny said my mum was having a go at Dad for putting weight on and said, you've got to start walking on a golf course. He said, Ellen, let me just tell you, it takes just as much exercise getting in and getting out of a golf cart as it does walking around a golf course.
That's a good point.
And I said, Dad, not often I'm on your side. I said, but I'm with you, brother. I park right at the tee.
You in the, say at Christmas time and there's a blue on, are you straight to Mum's side or to Kenny's? Or are you ambitious?
Well, I'm usually in the middle.
Right.
So actually, last Christmas was
you were very happy. Yeah, you were.
Well, I was the only one here. It was
Yeah.
I think it was before Christmas.
Different dynamic, wasn't it?
It was the only one that I wasn't involved in.
Yeah.
And look, that excited my wife and two daughters.
I know. I came over.
That I
I
wasn't
said,
involved.
"How was Christmas?" I had to sit down for half an hour. You're never going to believe this. Anyway, so that's great. So, yeah, thanks for that, kid. Basically, we're both returners. Richie's done one recent leave, but I think that you should.
Talking about Christmas, got to say one thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is there? You know when do you have Christmas Day at your house?
Mate, we have it every year at our house.
Yeah, well, we have it
no
every
one
year
else in
here.
the family can.
Do some family members, like, not everyone goes, but then one or their group just won't leave?
The absolute lurker.
The lurker?
My sister-in-law, lovely lady, what you're saying, she might not be the world champ,
but she's certainly in the final.
Right? So you've had a great day. Haven't you? Everyone's had a great day.
She's had prawns.
We've had a top day.
A little ham, a little bit of...
I recited poetry, some of my old talkback calls. We've had a top day, right? That's what we've done all day. We've eaten beautifully. Everyone decides, it's 5:30, time to go. We should head off.
5:30? God, you're getting off light.
No, we start at 11.
You're getting off light?
What, really?
Mine get here at 2.
No, well, we start early, so they leave.
Yeah.
So,
we enjoy the pool.
Yeah, it's
Do you
good.
go in your pool?
No, I haven't got one anymore.
Haven't you got a pool?
No, I'm a battler.
So what do you do? Just hose the kids?
Sprinkler. Yeah.
Oh, you do the
I've
sprinkler?
got the sprinkler.
And they jump across the sprinkler?
What I do, I have one out the
It's
front.
embarrassing when you...
Oh, no, it is.
When your missus is doing it at 50.
And a grown man.
Does Jeffrey come from next door?
Yeah, he does. You know what he does? He sometimes films it. Yeah, which is a bit odd, isn't it? When you think about it, you're a good bloke, Jeffrey. Family lurkers. My sister-in-law, she's lovely, but just that thing where you go, it's finished at 5:30. You'd think by 6 she'd be ready to go. No, normally it's about 9, and even then, we've had times I just go to bed. The kids are gone to bed, and my wife is still awake, but yawning, and she finally gets the hint and goes, "Lovely person." I don't want to be down on her, but lurkers. I mean, every family's got a lurker. Who's the lurker in your family?
No,
Well, you haven't got a lurker?
No, we're pretty good at the lurker.
You're lying. You've got a lurker.
No, I honestly haven't.
You're normally not scared.
Well, it's only my side of the family. My wife's family, they drop in the...
So KF.
Her parents couldn't think of her name, just chose a letter. I will say one thing. One topic I want to get to another week is have you ever let anyone stay in your house or use your facility when you're away?
Yeah.
And then they don't put the bin out.
They don't put the bin
out. That's another topic we'll get to another week. The last thing I want to do and ask you, we always talk about Seinfeld.
You love it. Best show on TV.
Who out of all the characters on Seinfeld would you say would fit the bill of the all-rounder for our Australian cricket team that they're desperately looking for?
So, obviously, we're still looking for a bowling all-rounder. So, I've had a good thought about it. I'm going with Russell Dalrymple, head of NBC.
Yeah, but I think he's more of he looks like a twerker, a spinner, rather than...
No, he bowls medium pace. Yeah. He'd bowl... But he's the type of bloke that would bowl off 42 steps, but bowl at medium pace speed. But I think anybody that put up with that can run a television corporation with such a plum. He fell for Elaine, so he's got an open heart, right? You know what I mean? Which would fit well for Mr. Langer. He's definitely a team player. He's a left-handed batsman, which is a surprise. He bowls right-handed, bats left-handed. Russell Dalrymple, I'll bat him at 7, and he's in the Ashes squad.
Yeah, so I thought it was clear-cut, really. The way this bloke managed his hands, showed beautiful ability to get in and out of a situation so quickly. He threw the dough up and down and handled it so with...
Dexterous. He's dexterous.
Poppy.
Yeah, I thought...
Yeah, I just thought Poppy. He handled the plums well. He put them away when required. And he got out of that situation.
He's a non-washer, though.
He's a non-washer, but he's my man. Now, listen, I don't... Enjoyed it? You back?
It's good fun to be back, yeah. I'm just glad to come around to your house and, I shouldn't speak too soon because...
We've got a few things...
Yeah, I was going to say...
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed episode 1, 2019. As I said, we've had our hiccups, but we're now back in the hands of one of Sparty's daughters, and she's got us covered.
She put out a spreadsheet of our timetable for the next 6 months of what days we're going to be doing, which is good, isn't it?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we won't be keeping to that.
Yeah, no.
If you want to follow us at 5 Topics of Life on Twitter, or you can just get at Richie Please, PLZ, or at Sparty Talkback. Till next time on 5 Topics of Life, as Ro would say...
No, don't say. If you do that,
which I think's just
that's
weird.
Just the weirdest thing.
You know what?
Don't you dare say that.
No, don't. Till next time.
Just see ya.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life. Have a good week. See you later.
Hey, I'm the host.
When do I say goodbye?
Say goodbye.
See ya.
There he is on behalf of him. Goodbye.
That's Sparty.
And on behalf of me, enjoy life.